Our top focus here at 9 a.m. In a bid to clear infrastructure projects in the national capital, the Aam Aadmi Party government is planning to amend the green law, which will severely hit Delhi's greenery. Aam Aadmi Party government and its growth drive will strip the legal protection provided to some of the tree species. The Aam Aadmi Party government's move comes as several infrastructure projects are moving at a slow pace due to absence of swift clearances from the Forest Department. The proposal to exempt certain tree species from Delhi Protection of Trees Act will allow construction agencies to cut trees without following any norms. There will be a relaxation, legally at least. The PWD Minister Satyendra Jain has written to the State Environment Minister Asim Ahmed Khan to expedite this particular nod. Let's go across to Darpan Singh, who has actually got this story in today's edition of Mail Today. Darpan, a very good morning. This is bad news for a city which is already struggling to bring down the levels of pollution.
Sanket, it really is. It's bad news. Some of these species not have much ecological value, but there has to be adequate compensatory afforestation. You just can't cut them and do nothing about it. This tweaking that they are looking at will allow construction agencies like PWD, CPWD and others, DMRs included. They will be able to cut trees without seeking prior permission, and they won't have to deposit a security deposit of rupees 57,000 per tree cut, and they won't be required to ensure 10 times compensatory afforestation. So that's clearly bad news.
No, Darpan, among the other things that you are in fact mentioning, I am reading this report that you have filed in the Mail today. It says that, there are specific species at this moment which are part of the, they're under protection. You cannot actually cut those trees unless you have prior approval. And as far as this particular amendment in the law is concerned, it will allow agencies to cut trees without prior approval, and compensatory replantation will not be required, which means you can chop trees, no worries if you have not planted another one, which is usually the case. So, this is at least the last clause to my mind is illogical, because it has been taught in schools at every possible level that there is no harm in planting one more tree. Why would a government want to remove a clause like this?
That's correct. Their logic is the tree protection law in Delhi is so stringent that it in fact, according to them, discourages people, to take part in commercial agroforestry. Like, they know they won't be able to cut and sell their trees, so they don't plant. So the PW department is, saying once this clause is gone, like what has happened in Tamil Nadu on that stretch from Chennai to Coimbatore, they are citing. They're saying once such stringent rules and norms are not in place, people would be, encouraged to, go for.
And Darpan, this is a city that we are talking about, which is notorious for the fact that it is the world's most polluted city. If you take away the green cover, you're literally taking away the city's lungs. Do stay on with us, Darpan. We also have Manoj Mishra, an environmentalist. Environmentalists have already started painting a very sad and sorry picture of the national capital. Mr. Mishra, in today's edition of Mail Today, you say you exempt one species and trees of every other species will be felled. If you challenge them, it would only lead to endless contestation and corruption. Why do you say that?
You see, Delhi is not like any other place in India. In Delhi, every tree has its value, because Delhi requires green cover. And already, as a result of so much of so-called developmental activities, large number of trees have been felled. And it is wrong to say that a tree today does not have an ecological role. Every tree has an ecological role, extremely important ecological role. Now, what is your problem? Your problem are the stringent rules. Now, don't and it is really funny for us to hear that it is the PWD which is coming and which is talking for agroforestry. No, for God's sake, See, PWD is certainly has to talk in terms of its roads and other developmental activities. Now, so what is the ultimate objective? The objective is you permit felling of trees without permission and without any replacement. Now, this is something which is absolutely unacceptable.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Mishra, thanks very much for joining us this morning. Darpan, do stay on with us as we quickly show you this presentation. What is this proposal? It's a green sweep proposal. Now, there are a lot of these species that are at present, protected. But according to this new law, if it comes into effect, species like aam, jamun, babool, vilayati kikar, which is the whole of your rich forest, as well as eucalyptus are going to be targeted, and that is the area where there will not be required any sort of permission. Let's quickly go back to the main page and I'll explain one by one where exactly the green sweep proposal. Mango trees are found all over Delhi, so it's going to impact the whole of Delhi if there is no such law protecting those trees. Then the second tree is that of jamun. Jamun trees, if you have actually driven down the Lutyens zone, you would see that the entire stretch along the Lutyens zone roads, they have jamun trees. So there will be no law protecting those trees from being felled by whoever wants to do that. The third variety, which is babool, is usually found on the outskirts of Delhi. So that is also something which is going to impact. It's also a species which is protected. The fourth variety is vilayati kikar, which is the whole of your rich forest, considered the lungs of Delhi. So that is actually what is allowing Delhi to breathe. That is going to be directly impacted, the whole of rich forest, if vilayati kikar is kept out of that particular out of the legal protection zone. And fifth, last but not the least, eucalyptus trees, which are planted along the Yamuna river bed, particularly found in eastern Delhi. Now, why is this significant? Eucalyptus is known as a tree which soaks in water. So at the time of floods in the national capital, it is this very tree which usually, because of its nature, because of its characteristics, actually prevents that flood water from flooding various parts of the capital. So if you start felling these trees, you are taking a little bit away from the national capital. Darpan, this particular story of yours tells about, the various reasons that the government is proposing as far as coming up with this rule. They say that if Delhi wants, you have to choose between, literally there is a choice that has been kept in front of Delhi. Choose between greenery as well as development. If you want elevated corridors, you want road widening, you want projects which are stuck in the absence of clearances from the forest department, then in that case your trees will be felled. Yes.
Sanket, I'd quickly like to add what you're saying. This proposal is already facing resistance from the government, within the government itself. The Delhi Forest Department, in response to the PWD's proposal, has sent a note. It can be called a decent note because they have cited scientific studies, and they're saying these tree species, which have been identified for exemption, have large canopies and they are instrumental in checking Delhi's air pollution. And they're saying their plantation has been scientific. It's not haphazard. So clearly they have, the Forest Department comes under Environment Minister Asim Ahmad Khan, who is the Aam Aadmi Party leader. This department has clearly said, but ultimately it's a call that the government has to take. Absolutely, Darpan, we are making that distinction very clear. At this moment, it is a proposal from one ministry of the Delhi government to another ministry of the Delhi government. However, this proposal has not been accepted. But nevertheless, since a proposal like this exists on paper, there is every possibility that there is a plan that the Delhi government actually has as far as these trees are concerned. There is definitely a proposal, and if it is accepted, a section within the Aam Aadmi Party as well as others in the political fraternity feel that it is going to directly impact the life of you and me, life of the millions who are staying in the national capital, notoriously known as the world's most polluted city. Darpan Singh, many thanks for joining us at this moment. Through the course of the broadcast here on India Today, we'll also try and have a word with both these ministers in question, the PWD Minister of Delhi, Satyendra Jain, as well as the Environment Minister, Asim Ahmad Khan, perhaps get their view on what they feel and how can they actually justify an act like this, which
is now being seen as a threat on the capital's greenery.